Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We're back with the Radical SR10 Championship Round 9, live from Brands Hatch. I'm JP. I'm going to be joined in the booth by Mr. Jim Cunningham here this evening. He's going to come along for the ride at this great British circuit that is Brands Hatch. 3.89 kilometres in length. Opened up in 1954. 2 circuit layouts in use today, generally in the BTCC. A couple of other series that do use the IndyCar circuit. But, of course, we've got the short circuit Indy and we've got the Grand Prix. We are on the Grand Prix circuit. We've gone into qualifying. Let's have a look at the championship points as they stand currently. Simon Edwards out in front on 247 points. Then you got Luke Crowley on 221. Paul LeMay in second on 214 with George Gonzaga on 198. Luke Maxwell in fifth on 192. Then you got Seth Brown, Jamie Bird, David Rolliston, Phil Glover, Michael LeMay rounding out the top 10. Wayman Nichols, Graham Matthews, Damien G, Paul Crabb, Paul Clark, Darrell Taylor, Robert Woodward, and Dennis Parmaxis rounding out the top 18. There's a couple of drivers below that who haven't done many events whatsoever, and that's Richard Curry and Tim Adcock. But it is Brands. We have just gone into qualifying, so let's keep an eye out on these qualifying times here as well. Simon Edwards, Jim, welcome in, by the way, leading the championship, leading everything at the moment, and doing a great job in the process.
Yeah, he's proven to be extremely consistent this year. You know, he doesn't put a wheel wrong. You really got to be on your game to outrun him. And you know, Luke Maxwell, when he's around, he seems to be able to give him some fits sometimes. But with him not making all the events, Simon has made it pretty easy for him so far. He's struggling to find some real competition here. Paul LeMay, you know, and Michael, and they're just a little bit behind him. He just, you know, they're all fast, but they just make a few more mistakes than he does.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's one of the things we will end up looking out for here. Who is going to be able to challenge Simon Edwards? Is anybody going to be able to challenge Simon Edwards? Is Paul LeMay going to be challenging Simon Edwards? Will Graham Brown keep it on track and have a go this week? What about Michael? Improve much over the season. We're going to see a lot from him as this season goes on. Is he going to be able to get there? What about the likes of Mr. Gonzaga? Is Luke Crowley going to come back? Didn't have a great time at Okayama. Is he going to be able to have a better time at Brands Hatch here? That's one of the things I'm interested in, is the Torpedo himself. Is he going to be able to get back into that kind of winning ways where he took a couple of wins over this season already, Jim? He's had a bit of a rough one since then.
Well, I think that as you ran through those names, every one of them has had moments. Mm-hmm. Simon Edwards has his moments every week. You know, Luke Crowley's been up there running up front and won some stuff. You know, obviously Paul LeMay's been up there and done some of that. Moments, all of them. Gonzaga, you know, they're all fast and they all compete at times, just not as consistent as Simon. That's the only difference, you know?
Yeah. I think that's the thing. It's all about consistency. It's all about keeping it on track. It's all about getting that speed. Edwards has got purples across the board and a green as well. Going in through the left-hander of Sterling's now, running down Clearways under the Advan Bridge he goes. Coming into Clark Curve. Is this going to be an extension of his time? Is this going to be the first 117 we might see? Is he going to be able to manage this one at the moment for Simon Edwards? He gets over the line. 118.567, not quite in the 17s. Paul LeMay, second place at the moment. Damien G sitting here currently in the final place. He's going to set a time on the board. Where is G going to go? Oh, goes into fifth. Going to be an interesting one from him. But Luke Crowley sitting in seventh. Not really had a good time since he's won in Daytona Roval. That's the weirdest thing for Luke Crowley.
Yeah, ever since he called me out for not having faith in him, and I told him I saw the light, and he hasn't had any moments since then. Yeah, it's been Yeah, I mean, like I said, he had some time there early in the season where he was running really good, and then it seems like he's hit a stretch. Maybe the tracks just didn't agree with him or something like that, and he just has not really had a great run in a few weeks now.
Yeah, you are right. I think for Luke Crowley, he's going to have to try and get his head back in the game here because he's not quite managing the performances that he had where he did take the victory in Daytona Roval, and he's also taken the victory at Circuit Gilles Villeneuve, but at the moment not being able to. Edwards again, purple, green, purple, yellow, green. What's he going to do? Is this going to be a 1:18.454? Well, it is. Crowley's going to come over the line. What about LeMay? Is he going to be able to manage this one? 1:18.83, 19:06 for Seth. What about Gonzaga? What's he going to do as well? It seems to be a very Simon Edwards dominated qualifying at the moment, but as we know, anything could happen in the race, especially with that top 10 reverse as well.
Well, that's the thing. You put those guys back there, and sometimes it's hard to get through the field, and you can also get in trouble. Look what happened to Simon. Was it last week? Yeah, or the week before? He got in trouble coming up through the field and kind of got stuck running back there in 10th the whole time and couldn't catch the field back, and we were, having fun watching to see if he was going to be able to catch the field. But now I'm looking at these times, though, and I looked at all the practice times while we were sitting here getting ready to come on air, and that's about what Simon ran as his fastest lap during the practice time. Paul LeMay was right behind him, about a 10th back, so Paul has not gotten to his time yet. He was at about an 18.5. Simon Edwards was right there at an 18.4. So to cut another half, second off of that and get down into the 17s, I think would be surprising to me. I mean, certainly if anybody can do it, Simon can, but.
Yeah, well, we'll see how he gets on here and whether or not he's going to be able to break the 17. Gonzaga going around. He's up through Dingle, Dell. Crowley's got greens on the board. Is he going to be able to manage this one as he goes over the line? What time's he going to put into third? 1:18.9. That's better from Luke Crowley. Graham Brown soaring over the line at the same time. Then we're going to have Robert Woodward in that pink machine. He comes over the line. It's great to see him on track. Mr. George Gonzaga, what's he going to be able to do? How close is he going to be able to get? What's he got? 1:19.1. Not quick enough. What about Graham Matthews? Improved over the season. Is he going to be able to keep going here for Graham? At this moment in time, 1:20. He's got a long way to go to catch up to the guys in front. But again, improvements as it goes on, but this is where it generally starts plateauing out. Yes.
During practice, I think if I remember correctly, there were 4 drivers in the 1:18s. And there were another 4 that were in the 1:19. So, that's relatively close, but by racing standards, sometimes that's a mile apart,
Yeah. Brands Act, one of the greats, says McZooms in YouTube chat. I agree with you. I do fully agree with
Indeed.
you. I have seen some very dramatic moments here in this series, at this track, in this very corner and the corner before, where there has been some dramatics, championship deciding dramatics as well. So yeah, lots of action taking in place with these SR10s. I think the saving grace for some of these guys at the moment, 3 temps back, 4 temps back, Crowley a little bit further back from that, but they are going to be within touching distance, Jim. There's no long straights for Simon Edwards to open his car up here. It's all going to be about control through these corners, and if he can keep control through these corners, he should, in hindsight, wrap this win up.
Well, you hit on a very, very good point there. Simon is known for running a low downforce setup, and he's able to drive a car with not a lot of downforce, which is extremely tough, obviously. But that kind of setup won't benefit him here as much as it does at some of the other tracks, with the longer straightaways and just where that kind of setup will perform better. So. Like you said, it's gonna leave guys within touching distance of him for sure, and so that'll be something to see.
Absolutely. Absolutely indeed. Well, let's see what goes on. We're just coming towards the end of qualifying. Everybody is sitting in pit lane and ready to get going for the race, but it does look like Simon Edwards has taken qualifying and is on pole position. I heard Jim has no faith. Luke, that is not what he said. He just said he has no faith. Simon Edwards in first place, Paul LeMay in second, then Luke Crowley in third, Graham Brown in fourth, George Gonzaga in fifth, then we've got Seth Brown, Phil Glover, Damien G, Robert Woodward, Graham Matthews and Michael LeMay, the last car on the circuit. 11 car grid. That isn't going to deter from any of the action, guys. You are going to be in for an absolute banger. Hang on to this one because it's going to be very, very interesting indeed. All of these cars are going to line up here. Luke, you got to bring the pain, buddy. You got to bring the pain. So
I have faith. I saw the light.
Do you really?
And yes, he turned me into a believer, and he has had a couple of rough weeks. I'm assuming that it's just tracks that don't fit his driving style, but I have no doubt that he is going to bounce back and have a couple of stellar weeks coming up soon.
Yeah, can't stay for the race, still at work, but good luck and good hunting to all the drivers. Thank you very much, Mr. McZooms in YouTube chat, which I think, if I'm not mistaken, is Mackenzie Roon, unless I've got that completely wrong, which is a possibility. But let's see here as well. And Heat 1 is going to be up and running. What is the situation with the Heats? 11 laps feature sprint, 19 lap feature, 11 laps sprint. Here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, no Michael LeMay. We're down to 10 cars, 5 lights. It's green, green, green. Edwards gets off the line, ready to go down into turn 1, gets an absolute flyer. Crowley and LeMay fighting side by side in through the first time here. Let's not forget, on the run through Paddock Hill, up through Pilgrim's Rise, into Druids. Paul LeMay has the inside line. They cannot afford to do this, Jim. They need to be doing this once they get past Simon Edwards.
Yeah, well, that's a tall order to get past him to start with, but man, I tell you what, he gets the most... His starts are absolutely insane. He gets off
practice.
Yeah, he gets off the line so well.
Yeah, he does. First run now, down through Pilgrim's Drop, coming into Hawthorns. The right-hander, Crowley, tucked in right behind him at the moment. Here we go. Now he's going to come into the right-hander of Westfield, dropping in through Dingle Dell, coming out the other side at the moment. Crowley, through we go into Sheen's, blind right-hander, point of the tree, and hope it sticks into Sterling's for the first time here. Lap 1 of 11. Oh, you can take more curb there, Mr. Crowley. You can take more curb. These guys fighting out, and at the moment, Simon Edwards has opened up a gap of nearly half a second.
Yeah, I tell you what, another thing he does really well is he runs so well on cold tires. You know, he just seems to get such a big gap on the first lap or two while everybody's tires are coming up to temperature, and he's off by a second by the time everybody's tires get up to temperature.
He does an amazing job.
A second in these cars is huge.
Yeah, but he's got it out at 6/10 at the moment. LeMay sitting in there, Crowley still in there, Gonzaga, Brown. Then we've got Phil Glover 1.1 second back behind them, opening up a gap to Mr. G, with Robert Woodward in behind that gap. These guys continuing to fight in that pink machine for Robert Woodward as he is chasing down Damien G with his Racing Pointless livery, his pink livery there. Is he going to be able to get on the back of G? Brown is slowly starting to get on to... Oh, dear. Graham and Seth are going to be going together. So both names are Brown. So, yeah, we'll call them Seth and Graham. Up through Sheen's blind right-hander. And at the moment, Edwards out in front by 7/10. He's itching away bit by bit, Jim.
Yeah, that's Simon Edwards' style. Paul LeMay... Well, I was looking at the lap times, but that doesn't, the first lap doesn't really matter as much. We'll see how.
Oh, Graham Matthews, that drama. Graham Matthews is that drama. He's on his way into Surtees. That back end's coming round, son. You're too fast. There we go. Round he goes there for Graham Matthews. Here we go, Seth Brown now with Gonzaga chasing him down. Phil Glover now 2.2 seconds behind after Graham Brown went into the pits. I do wonder whether or not that was a jump start from Mr. Graham Brown. Keep an eye on the red car on the right-hand side. Second one back. It doesn't look like he jumped to at all. But
no, well, it actually looks like maybe he did, and then he stopped because he certainly got a horrible start there. You know, sometimes if you roll a little bit, you try to stop the car, and everybody kind of gets by you. But yeah, that'd be unfortunate for him for sure.
Yeah, G now behind Glover. I tell you what, if it is Brands this week on the SR10s, I might even have a go. I do love me a bit of Brands, and I do love me a little bit of SR10s. So let's see. I might jump in and see how I get on here. Whether or not I'm going to survive or whether or not I'm going to terminate myself. That's a different situation altogether. But hey, never know, Jim. We never know.
That would you need to race in this race one week and let me and someone else do the coverage, and you get out there and race. Show them what you got.
No, I'm already booked in for a race like that, where apparently my love of Martinsville has somehow managed to talk me into doing cup cars at Martinsville within a league. So,
yes.
Yeah, look out for the date, Jim. I might lead you on that one. But let's see what goes on as these guys continuing to fight it out. Seth Brown in his traditional green and pink. Gonzaga in his traditional yellow and black, or black and yellow. You tell me, I'm not sure. In his SR10 with a red outline there for the insert name E-Racing Team. Fighting it out once more, still continuing to have a scrap, still going at it. Brown closing in, Crowley getting back a little way from LeMay. That's bringing Gonzaga into the back of him. The last thing Luke Crowley really wants to do is drop back into the hands with Mr. Gonzaga here, because he is losing it to Paul LeMay in front.
I tell you what, Paul LeMay is slipping back up on Mr. Simon Edwards there. He's got that to within a half a tenth, and he looked faster that lap. He just looked like he was carrying more speed in a couple of places.
Oh, Edwards on the gravel. That's going to kick a few temps off him. LeMay now 4 temps in. Edwards still in front. This is a battle that's going to materialize. This is also a battle that's going to come together as well. But the difference is their cake is ready, and it's just about to get hot in the oven. So here we go for Seth Brown with Gonzaga. We're still mixing the ingredients at the top two with Edwards and LeMay. But Brown at the moment looking a little bit racy here, Jim. He's closing in on Gonzaga at the straights.
He is. And I thought that Gonzaga was going to kind of pull away from him, but that has not happened at all. Which, Seth is fast. Seth is fast a lot. His problem is he makes one little mistake here or there, and it just messes him up a little bit. When he can put it all together, he's gonna have a great finish because he's fast.
But the problem is that one mistake normally ends up terminating the car here for Seth Brown, and he's normally ended up in 50 pieces. Well, that battle's kind of fizzled out a little bit. LeMay still chasing down Edwards, still doing a great job, drafting him all the way. But while he's doing that, Crowley's getting drafted the other way. Mr. Torpedo has not quite got the speed coming out of his SR10, as a Torpedo is coming out of a ship at the moment, because he is losing a bit of time here, Jim. These two slowly opening up the gap.
Yeah, and if you watch in that shot we just had there, you can see him in the background. You can tell he's struggling to run this pace with these guys. His back end sliding around back there. You can tell he's pushing the car hard, where the other two, they look just smooth everywhere. And you can tell that Luke is pushing his car. And sometimes when you do that, you end up going a little slower. It's not as productive. Smooth is fast, and he's back there. You can tell, like I said, he's just pushing the car. Back end's wiggling around.
Yep. Let's drop back out to 8 temps. He's obviously not had a good lap here for Paul LeMay. We're on lap 6 of 11. Currently, Brown's not getting any closer. Woodward's getting a little bit closer to G. Not close enough to make a move. The gap's now gone to a second. This is where Edwards almost has kicked into that 6th gear now. He's now turned around and said to the boys, that's close enough, son. I'm off.
And I think that when you said a second ago that Paul LeMay maybe didn't have the best lap there, I think it was the opposite. I think Simon decided, half a tenth is close enough. Let me turn up the fire just a little bit.
He has almost turned up the wick as Simon Edwards. And now he is bolting away a little bit to try and keep this between them.
You can see Paul there had I don't know if it was an off track, but he certainly pushed it all the way to the track limits there. And we've heard him talk about it. It's a struggle to keep up with Simon, and so he's having to run really hard to keep up with Simon as well. And I think Simon just found another gear, like you said.
I believe so. Seth Brown now with Gonzaga. Brown's found the 2nd gear on lap 7. Closing in through Sheens, through the right-hander, coming into the left-hander now with Sterling's. Seth Brown still staying with him. No real dramatical moves taking place at the moment. These guys in through Clark, the final right-hander. Down the hill they go. Coming out the other side, here we go. Seth Brown with Gonzaga, tasting down into Paddock. Is he going to make that move on the inside? No, not quite close enough this time. Through Paddock, coming up through through Pilgrims. Gonzaga on the defense. He can see him coming, Jim. He knows Seth Brown's closing in on him.
Oh yeah, it'd be hard not to see him. His mirrors are full of him right now. What a I thought. That angle, I thought he was running off track there, Gonzaga. Yeah, Seth Brown is all over him right now.
Yep, he is. Closing in on him at the moment. Here's Seth Brown. Gonzaga's in his sights. He can see him. He can smell him. He's breathing on him, but he still cannot get through. Spits of grass coming out. Dirt appearing on the track as well. More there. Brown going up the inside. No. Gonzaga muscles him out through the left-hander. Here we go through Dingledale. Up the other side, coming out of Sheens at the moment. Seth Brown, is he going to be able to hold him? No, not this time. Left-hander of Sterling's. Nothing doing here. Smooth is fast. Just got into one, says Martin in YouTube chat. Well, welcome in, bud. Hope you're well. Thank you so much for joining us. But yes, you are right. Smooth is fast. And at the end of the day, Gonzaga is keeping it smooth to keep back Seth Brown.
Yeah, that's a good battle right there. It's like we were talking about earlier. I mean, Seth is fast, man. He's going to put it all together, and that's what, we talk about consistency. Once he finds that little bit, all of a sudden he's going to jump into that next echelon of drivers. And we talk about that all the time, how guys are moving up in the ranks and whatnot. And he's right on the verge of that, I think. If he can put together a couple of clean races, you're going to see a big confidence boost from him. I mean, he's all over Gonzaga right here.
Yep. Is he going to be able to do this, though? Through, here we go now. Keep an eye in through Hawthorne's on that run up the short Derek Minter straight. Gonzaga takes the inside line again, going into Westfield. That's going to put him off on the exit through Dingledale. There's a big puff of smoke in front of us. This is where we're going to try too wide. This is almost guaranteed. Guaranteed that was going to happen through too wide through Sheens.
Did Seth hit him, or did they both just spin? I didn't think he hit him. I thought that.
No.
Oh, he did. He flew right in there. Yeah. Oh, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that right there is prime example of what we were just talking about. He's fast, but a little mistake like that, and, it's coming, though.
Yeah,
it's coming. Well, he's going to find it before the season's over. I got a feeling.
Yeah. 120s here, and I don't feel like I'm constantly fighting the car. These guys are doing 118.8. That's the best lap time we've got. 118.7 is the fastest for Paul LeMay. These guys are absolutely flying. Majority of them are 3 to 4K plus. Let's bring you up this Stretford Field. 2.8K is the SOF divided by all of these drivers, and they are the kind of the creme almost a creme de la creme of SR10, should we say, Martin? You know what I mean? So, bad corner to try and overtake. Dingledale's a horrible corner, Martin. I have to be honest, that is not a corner you want to go too wide in.
Yeah, to be honest, I thought he was just trying to put some heavy pressure on George. Oh, Woodward's way off there. There goes Seth around him. Yeah, I thought he was just trying to put some heavy pressure on Gonzaga and force Gonzaga into making a mistake, but apparently Seth decided that was the place to attempt to pass.
Yeah, not good. Not good. Definitely would not have been my recommendation, but the final lap of the race now, and it's this man in the traditional pink, purple and blue of Simon Edwards out in front by 1.7. He's just opened up the gap slowly but surely here for Simon Edwards. And he's done a great job, but the next one's going to be even more interesting. Top 10 reverse, which makes this a full grid reverse. Woodward now with Brown. Seth Brown did pass Robert Woodward. This is how this one took shape. Round the outside, that's not a bad move at all. In through Sterling's and on the run down into Clearways, got the job done. But ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, he's only got 2 corners to go. 1 corner to go. Up through Clearways, under the handband now for Simon Edwards through the right-hander of Clark Curve. Looping out the other side. He takes the victory in race number 1 as Simon Edwards wins from green to checkered with Paul LeMay in second, and the torpedo himself of Mr. Crowley going to come over the line in 3rd place. Then we're going to have Phil Glover grabbing a 4th place. He's going to be absolutely made up. Damien G, Gonzaga, Brown, Woodward. Then we've got Graham Brown, and then the final car on the grid is Mr. Graham Matthews, who will finish off here as well. But great run for Phil there.
Mark my words, Phil will say that he was lucky and a couple of guys in front of him had trouble. He it doesn't matter, but he, you know how he is. But it's a great finish for him. We were talking so well about his improvement last week, and it was funny. I talked about it the whole race, and then after the race, I think every driver that we talked to a man, talked about what an improvement Phil has had, and I'm sure for Phil that feels good too, putting in the work and getting recognized for it.
Simon Edwards is your winner, then Paul LeMay second, then Luke Crowley and Phil Glover, Damien G, George Gonzaga, Seth Brown, Robert Woodward, Graham Brown, Graham Matthews pole next time by, and then Michael LeMay, who did not start the race. Let's have a quick chat. I'm going to bring him in here. He's just gone and put it in the top 5. He's gone and finished in 4th place. Phil Glover, welcome in.
Hello, James.
Oh, maybe 4th place.
Yeah, well, a couple of them fell off, didn't they? But
ignore that. We're not ignoring that. We're going to ignore that, Phil. You've got to keep it on track to go and get the 4th, and you got the 4th place.
Yeah, that's right. So, unlike the normal second races, I'll be further back down the grid, though, won't I?
Yeah, you'll be in 6th, I think it is, to start.
Yeah, that'll do me. We'll see how it goes.
All right, mate. Well, good luck, Phil. Let's see the performance and see if Phil Glover win.
Yeah, that'd be great, wouldn't it?
Oh, man. Take care. Have a good one.
Yeah. See you in a bit.
All right. There you go. That's our resident interviewer, Mr. Phil Glover.
His mic was booming.
Yeah, I think he's probably got it. Don't forget, this is the man that drives in VR and motion sim.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I forgot he does that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's, you know what? We need a camera, like a webcam. I want to see a webcam of Phil doing these races with his motion thing and his VR and all that. I want to see that.
Yeah, I think for Phil that would be absolutely amazing. I really do. I think he would have a great time.
we need to see if we can talk him into doing that. That
Absolutely.
would be fun. By the way, Martin, I was looking at your comments where you talked about 120s there, Simon Edwards qualified on an 18.4.
Here we go. It's a grid for race number 2. Graham Matthews on pole, then Graham Brown in second, Robert Woodward third, Seth Brown fourth, George Gonzaga, Damien G, Phil Glover seventh, Luke Crowley, Paul LeMay, and Simon Edwards. And of course, no Michael LeMay. Still trying to find out. Hopefully, Michael's okay. Not heard anything back from him at the moment. But let's see what takes shape here once more with these guys as they continue to fight it out for the win. Is Graham Matthews going to get off the line and absolutely go for it? Well, we're just about to find out. Last car is on. Lights are going to be coming on. We're going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Green, 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 green. Matthews did not get that car off the line. Graham Brown, however, did. It's going to be 3 wide further back. No, it's not. They settle back down. Matthews takes the whole shot into turn number 1. Graham Matthews putting up a fight. Go on, block the inside, son. Come on, Navy. Elbows out. Nope, nothing this time for Graham Matthews. And Graham Brown goes through with Seth Brown in the back. Simon Edwards still at the back of the grid. No movements for him. No movements for hardly anybody. Whoa!
Oh, Phil.
Edwards and Phil, Paul LeMay, Luke Crowley. Oh, man.
What happened? Let's see. Oh, the torpedo. He torpedoed Phil.
I don't know if there was any room. There may have been room there.
I don't know if I'd call that a gap. He was trying to create one, it looked like.
No, I don't mean that. Oh, no, it was Crowley. Unfortunately, he did tag Glover and sent him round. Yeah. Edwards now up into 7th, up 3 places. Graham Brown out in front, leading away. Unfortunate for Phil. He's at the back end here.
Yeah, that is unfortunate. Yeah, I'm not sure what Luke was doing there. That was there was no gap there, but you know, that's unfortunate. Yeah, Seth Brown. He got past Woodward and Matthew, and Matthews dropped back a little bit. Now George is up, Gonzaga's up there in 3rd. Still running off the track back there. I think that's
Simon Edwards.
Oh, no?
It was
Simon,
spitting up dirt. Edwards goes past Damien G. He's now got Graham Matthews to tackle. Is he going to be able to get past him on that one? Further back, we've got the battle of the 3. Yeah, Paul LeMay, Phil Glover and Luke Crowley. Luke did allow Phil to go back through. Edwards is going to try and go up the inside here. Let's see, the same as the reverse start last week. It was, pretty manic.
Yeah.
So let's see how it goes. Are they going to be able to get through? Mine, you should come and drive with them. Discord link down in the description below, buddy. Come and get yourselves involved.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah, come and have a drive, mate. Next Thursday, I want to see you on the grid, Martin. As Matthew and St. G's gone up the inside. Matthews is there, still fighting it out, still putting in the effort, still improving week after week for Graham Matthews. He's getting quicker and quicker and quicker in this car, and he's doing an exceptional job as well, sitting 7th ahead of Paul LeMay. So a great job from Graham Matthews. Keep going, son. Improvements will come. Seth Brown's got the ever-looming man of war, George Gonzaga behind him. But at the moment, Graham Brown sets the fastest lap. I was checking out your website. It's how I found your channel. Oh, okay, mate. Thanks. Come and join the Radical Race Series, dude. You'll have great fun.
Yeah, well, just check out all the stuff that the JPB network does. There's a lot of good stuff out there. A lot of good racing to watch. A lot of good.
Go on, Jim. Sorry.
No, I was going to say 20 broadcasts last week. A lot of good stuff to watch on JPB.
We got you covered pretty much on all disciplines here. We got new NASCAR season kicking off next week with the BSC. Myself and Ken and Sportac have been on that one for nearly 2 years now, and we're going again next season. It's absolutely amazing. Come and check that out. But lots of action taking place. Lap 3 of 19. Brown and Gonzaga, they've got to defend, but they don't want to hold on too much, because at the moment the other Brown, Graham, is roaring away out in front. Edwards up behind Woodward, 1.1 seconds back. Damien G, Graham Matthews still out on the track. Crowley going again with Glover. I really like driving the Raddles. Dude, there's loads of things out there. Come and have a go. There's SR8s taking shape as well if you've ever driven the SR8s. There's lots of things on that one. Drop a comment on below and I'll reach out and we'll have a chat. Seth Brown, Gonzaga, but come and get yourselves involved in these. You'll have a great time in the SR10s. Absolutely.
And there's a lot of guys in this league that'll help you, as they've done with some of these other drivers that you see here on track. A lot of these guys have improved because of the faster drivers giving them a lot of help.
Yeah, look at Phil Glover. He literally works with Simon Edwards each week. And Edwards at the moment sat in 5th, leading the championship. So come and get yourselves involved, mine. Be great to have you here. But Seth now he's got pressure. I would not want this man behind me. I've got to be honest. This would be the last man I'd want tucked in behind me. He's made a mistake. They're trying it again. Race 1, deja vu. Race 1, deja vu. Deja vu, no, Nickers to deja vu. We've given the cat a kick out the window. Here we go, Gonzaga hasn't made it through this time. No deja vu taking place, and Seth Brown sits in behind him there, Jim.
I'm not even sure I want to know what that means, but yeah, that was a little different though. When Seth made that mistake, George had a big run there, so it wasn't gonna be a side-by-side situation there. Yeah, that's typical right there. That's a George Gonzaga right there. Puts pressure on you, forces you to make a mistake. And now let's see if he can close that gap to Graham Brown. And they better pick it up because Simon's creeping up in the background.
He definitely is. He's coming in slowly but surely. Simon Edwards, 2.5 seconds. Jim's asking, he doesn't know what it means with a black cat. Deja vu when a cat runs in front of you. Have you never watched the film The Matrix, Jim? Literally
yes, I have.
Black cat
I have.
Front.
Yes.
Black cat
it's
runs
been
in
a
front.
while, but yes.
Deja vu. Deja vu. Come on. There we go. Well, lucky enough, we didn't have deja vu this time, and these boys managed to get through both corners without any trouble. Simon Edwards did clear Robert Woodward in the end and got that overtake done. Gonzaga still fighting out. LeMay still closing in on the back of Graham Matthews. Glover and Crowley cannot stop fighting. They're down the back end of the field having a right old go here as well. Battles. We've got Gonzaga Brown, Edwards Woodward, Damien G. Matthews. Lots of action. Glover's been and taken a trip off the side of the circuit. Where did you go at Dingledale? No, in through Sheen. Oh, bro, you got that wrong. Sheens. Oh, Phil in the wall.
Yeah. At least he hit it sideswiped it. Maybe it won't kill his car totally.
Paul LeMay goes past Graham Matthews, moves up one place. Glover in pit lane. Well, that just about answers your question, Jim.
Yeah. I was thinking it was taking Paul a little while to get going back there, but now he seems to be, I think he's unfortunately probably lost too much time back there towards the back. He, to do much damage here. Simon, on the other hand, is slowly creeping in. He's not exactly running Seth down as fast as I thought he would.
No, Seth Brown tucked in behind Gonzaga. Out, sizzling Martin. Yep, absolutely. In through Sheens over the curbs. If you want to know, Martin, they're at Catalunya next week, and then they're going to Long Beach, and then round week 12 gets determined shortly. So they follow the official schedule. So if you do practice all in the officials from Tuesday through to Thursday, then come and race with us Thursday night. If you need a Discord link, make sure it is. I'm sure it is down below, but if not, I will get you one anyway, just in case. There you go.
Yeah, it should be down below for sure. Oh, there you go. Yeah.
Just pop it in YouTube chat for you there. Come and join the Discord. Come and have some fun with these boys on Thursday nights. Say going to Catalunya next week. Don't worry, if you qualify in fourth, you'll stay in fourth. Not much overtake up in Catalunya, unfortunately. It's one of them circuits. It must be a Spanish circuit thing.
Yeah, well, I think that they're just the circuits around there are just narrow, and they don't build the circuits there. They were built for slower cars, and once the cars got faster, it takes away some of the overtake opportunities.
Yeah, but I think I still don't like Catalunya. I've got to be honest. It is not my circuit. It is not my circuit.
What was that new circuit the Spanish circuit that they added about a season or two ago.
You got Jerez or Algarve, isn't it? Was that the one?
Oh, maybe, yeah, maybe it was Algarve. Yeah, that's another one that's tough to pass on.
Yeah, they call it rubbish, but listen, I'm not saying anything. I have no opinions at all about the circuits. However, I do love Brands Hatch, so there we go. And I think this is an amazing circuit on that one. I got the cars for the season. Come and have a go. Come and join in. Now, Alton Park is saying narrow as hell and hard to overtake. I understand that. Up through Druids and that is just a no. Definitely. It's Alton Park is a circuit. If you put your car in the right place, you can stay where you are. It's like driving Nords every single week is Alton Park. But this one is very, very tough. They got the thing is they've got this run down here now from Surtees down into Hawthorns that they can make the move on. Anywhere else, I really would not suggest it. I think this is the thing. I think these guys battling out. We've seen them go side by side already, and at the moment, why is G jump back to pit lane?
Here's your deja vu coming right here. Look.
Nope.
He's coming.
Not happened. Why is Damien G strunt in pit lane? Oh, he just pulls in, Damien G. Not quite sure what happened to him. But Brown and Gonzaga going at each other again. Let's hope, let's pray they make it through. Because otherwise, it's all going to go wrong for these boys.
Man, Simon is not really running them down like I thought at all.
No. Preferred Donny.
I mean, he said,
yeah, maybe.
He said clear track, you know. He said clear track in front of him since he passed Woodward, and he's only picked up, you know, maybe a half a second.
If that at the moment. He's doing 119. What did he do last time around? 119.1. These guys did a 119.3 and a 119.4. So, yeah, not a lot there. Phil across the pond. I prefer Donny. That's because you live next to Donny or near Donny or in Donny's field. I don't know, Phil. You live near it. Of course you're going to prefer Donny. It's like me saying I prefer Thruxton. But then again, if you haven't driven Thruxton, man, you have missed out. I have watched some amazing racing this week at Thruxton. Incredible track. So, yeah, fastest track in the UK, absolutely amazing. Been there in real life as well. Absolutely incredible circuit. 10 laps to go here, Jim, and we're focusing mainly on the Gonzaga Brown battle, but that's because they're the two closest on the racetrack.
Yeah, Graham, you know, we got to give Graham Brown his credit, man. He got out front, and he's just pulled away enough, and he's held the 2.5, 2-second lead the whole time, and with Gonzaga and Seth Brown battling like they have been, he's just out there running his own race. And we see Simon here try. I mean, I'm really shocked that Simon's not running this and turning this into a big battle, which he'll probably get there. You know, he'll probably get to those guys, but I really thought that he could, you know, run all the way up to the front, and he's just struggling. I mean, he's not struggling. They're doing a great job in front of him is really what's happening.
Yeah, that's the thing. They're just as fast, and he's not being able to get near him. 119.2, 119.3 for the two boys in front. So he's not really closing up here.
Have we had a change in track conditions over the?
No, they generally are the same. That's the thing. They generally are around about 80 degrees Fahrenheit.
Because it seems like we've lost a little more than a half a second off some of the times that they were running across the board in the last race.
Yeah, no, I don't think we've lost much. Edwards now closing in, got the gap down at 1.2, 11 and 19. Thruxton is just flat out fun. That chicane slow down can be brutal. Yeah, I've been there, mate. I drove there last night, or Tuesday night in MX5s. Every lap I got a slow down. Every lap, Martin. I could not bury that last chicane. Every lap in an MX5, 1.5 second slowdown. Don't get me wrong, I took it off in the next one because I just slowed down a little bit. But every single lap I went through there, dude. I think in 15 minutes, I think I literally had one lap where I didn't have a slowdown. It was absolutely awful. So not good for me. But there we go. As these guys are continuing to scrap it out. Seth Brown and Gonzaga. Brown still closing in. I don't know if he's almost latching Edwards into him. He's pulled him the other way. 1.3. Here we go. Debris off tracks. Yeah, you are right. There's been a lot of it at the same time. Crowley has managed to clear Glover, but that is because Glover went and did this. Around he goes. But let's have a look. I think this is the moment where Phil went off on his own. Yep. And Crowley goes through. So Luke Crowley now on the back of Graham Matthews. Let's see if he can get through. Over Graham here. Is he going to be able to make this move going into the left-hander of Sterling's? Nope. Now down clearways. Matthews is going to move to the right, signaling his intention on the inside under the bridge. Yeah.
That was a kind of a strange place for Graham to break. He braked a little heavy there. That was I don't think that was as much on Luke as it was. Graham didn't take that corner very fast.
No, he did not. But fortunately, these guys nearly ended up coming an absolute cropper of each other.
You know, I wonder if Luke's got a little front end damage from that early incident where he tried to part the Red Sea there and go between those two cars.
No, you are right. But I do wonder he's just not quite close
He doesn't have the speed he doesn't have the speed he had in the first race for sure.
Yep.
Simon has snuck inside a draft range now. We'll see what happens with that.
How much closer is he going to be able to get, though? There you go.
Well, he's certainly going to pick up. He should pick up Seth's draft now. So
7 attempts, not making inroads, Jim. Not quite yet.
Yeah.
Not quite yet. 6 to go. That's obviously going to help him. There he is in the looming back. Edwards 8 attempts back, 6 attempts back. Closing, opening, closing. It's going in and out, Jim. It's going in and out like the okey dokey.
But you know what is happening right now? Seth is starting to drive out of his mirror because he sees Simon back there now, and Gonzaga's just starting to slip away from him just a little bit.
Gonzaga's edging his way forward, Brown's edging his way backwards, and Edwards is edging his way forwards again. Crowley still in behind Matthews, still can't get through. Matthews' defense has improved massively. Oh my God. Massively. Oh my God. Does that even sound right?
No.
Massively. There you go. I had to say it in my head first before I spoke again. Here we go.
Sound like you had a mouthful of that cat fur that you kicked out the window earlier.
No, not this time. Matthews has run a little bit wide. That's going to give Crowley the inside line in the black and yellow. Oh, God, oh, no, we've seen this, ladies and gentlemen. Hold on to your hats. Here comes the cat once more. Here comes the cat. Here comes, oh, there goes the cat out the window. Crowley manages to make it through. Great job for Luke. Now he's going to look to pull away from Graham Matthews as much as possible. Brown has got a big old defense on his hands now. He has got the 8-time champion that is Simon Edwards in behind him. Yes. He has taken 8 championships. He is absolutely flying. He's won more championships than Lewis Hamilton and Michael Schumacher, albeit in sim racing. But hey, credit's where credit's due, Jim.
I wonder if he has one of those $40 million a year contracts like those guys had. Well, at least Lewis does anyway.
Yeah, that's what I've got, Jim. I'm on a $40 million a year contract paid for by Darryl Taylor, who's the admin here.
Yeah. Well, I need to get my share of that.
Well, doesn't take much.
I'm learning.
Just got to be nice and be here for 2 years. So there we go. Edwards now in behind Brown under the Advan Bridge. We go 5 laps remaining. And at the moment, Graham Brown out in front by 1.4 seconds. Never really looked under trouble. However, Gonzaga is coming at him at a rate of knots. It'd be interesting to see. But let's check out this of Simon Edwards. When are you going to be able to make that move? Are you going to be able to make that move? Not through Paddock Hill. He's got to get it. Yep. In he goes. Yeah,
he did. That's a classic Simon Edwards. And, he just put pressure on Seth, and Seth put a tire off track here, tire off track there, and that's, he forced him into that, really. Now let's see if he can disappear.
Well, that's going to be the question. Brown's going to get the draft. How much is it going to be affecting him, though?
Yeah, unfortunately, while those two were changing positions, Gonzaga managed to get out to a decent gap there. So now Simon's going to have to really work to close that gap with not a lot of time left. We got coming to the line. We'll have 3 to go, I believe.
Yep. And Gonzaga's quick.
He's although he really hasn't done much damage to close up the gap between him and Graham Brown. Graham Brown is doing a fantastic job up there, and unfortunately so good that we haven't had him on camera that much.
Well, it's because he's not been in a battle. That pressure can be a killer. Well, there we go. That's because you don't have to go that far. I know you don't have to go that far, Phil. You don't even know. I don't even know how far you got to go. Like, what is it? Is it like 5-10 minutes up the road or something? Mine, the pressures could be a killer. Well, you're going to find out next week, aren't you, mate? Have you just joined the Discord? Have you just joined? And I've just given you a wave. So come and have some fun with us, dude. Come and join in. Be great to see you out and track. Don't matter about where you're at.
Yeah, no, absolutely doesn't matter. Come out and have fun.
Yeah. 16.
I mean, that's how I started doing this. I joined a league because I watched a JPB broadcast, and I joined that league so that I could race on the broadcast, and I raced some, and I liked the commentary so much that I wanted to give it a try, and I sent James a message and asked him if he would teach me how to do this, and he said, you think you can talk about racing? And I said, yeah, I think so, and that's how I got started.
Well, that's pretty much how I started, to be honest. As well, back in a long 2000 and somewhen, oh my God, 20, I think it was, during lockdown. So there we go. Commentating, it was driving in an SR8 league who were putting videos on YouTube without commentary. So I said, chuck me the replay file, I'll chuck some commentary over the top of it. And here we are, 4 years later, still doing the same thing. 10 miles, says Phil. Well, I got Fraxton's, my Fraxton's a little bit further than that. Broxton's a little bit further than that for me. It's about 45 minutes. Longer than 10 miles. But up the road. So, yeah, I'm going to try and get out there for the BTCC this year. I'm going to try and sneak my way into the comms box with Paul O'Neill if I can.
So mine is Circuit of the Americas. is my close track, yeah.
The circuit of copying every other circuit and putting it on the racetrack.
That's what they did.
They should just call it the mimic, shouldn't they?
Yes, I'm not a fan myself. To me the track doesn't flow properly.
No, that's because they've shoved about 4 racetracks together. That's why it don't flow. Brown is now down to below. Gonzaga's now down below as second. Edwards is also down. Teetering on a second.
Right at a second, yeah.
Yeah, LeMay is just about trying to get hold of Robert Woodward. And Martin, the upside is you get me commentating on you, mate. What more could you last for on a Thursday night, making you feel like a star? I remember you on that SR8 league. Yeah, I do as well, Ewan. I sounded like I had a microphone that made me sound like I was in a toilet, and an overlay that I found from some dodgy geezer on the internet, which was shocking. So there we go. But you and me have been, we were there together at the originals, FPL originals. And I've originally started just to drive in the league. I didn't even want to commentate. And then here I am.
I tell you what, Simon just made a move on Gonzaga. He is all up his tailpipes right now.
Yeah.
So the question is, there's no chance. I was going to say, can he get by him and make a run at this lead? But no, we got one more to go when we come to the line. I don't think that's going to happen.
No, I don't know. James, you were laughing at me for spinning out the Suzuka race. Hey, Ewan, I know what you mean. Do you know the weirdest thing about that is I had to commentate on my own crash at Circuit Gilles Villeneuve, where I took out the league owner going into turn 4. Absolutely clattered him like an absolute banshee. Missed my breaking point and went in way too hot. Final lap, ladies and gentlemen. Final lap. Let's get it that way before we reminisce on any more of James Parfitt's calamities and broadcast and commentating on his own incidents. Brown is closed into a second. Gonzaga's on a defense. Oh, Gonzaga's.
Big blink. Big.
Where is he gone? He's gone.
Oh, he disconnected.
Oh, no.
Did he?
Yeah, he's gone.
Oh, wow.
Oh, George.
Man.
George disconnects on the final lap of the race. That's allowed Graham Brown to take the victory. That's going to allow Simon Edwards to get a second place. And then Seth Brown to grab third. That is the first time, I think, in ever that we've had both Browns on the podium. I mean, that's the first time that that is literally the first time in 2 years. So there you go. If you want to commentate crashes, hey, they're my favourite kind of commentary. They are, Martin. They're my favourite commentary. Love a little bit of that. However, I will call you out. Round the final corner. Graham Brown, final corner. Here we go. He comes over the line. He wins that feature race. Graham Brown takes the win. Simon Edwards in second. Seth Brown in third. And then Paul LeMay is going to come home in fourth place with Robert Woodward behind. And then Luke Crowley on that one. I hate the disappearance. Yeah, you can, but he's gone. gone.
Yeah,
he disappeared and disconnected. Crowley recovering back to sixth there. And then Graham Matthews in seventh place. Great job from him. And then Positivity Racing, my man, my boy, Phil Glover coming over the line in eighth. We've got to wait for him to finish. OG, mate. I don't know about that, Ewan. At the time, dude, I sounded like I was sat in a toilet. It was terrible. I didn't even realise it was that bad, to be blatantly honest, until I listened it back a few years. I found it, actually. When did I find it? Probably 6 months ago. I think I found my first one I did at Silverstone. Mind you, I did have to compensate myself crashing again then. And I don't even know how people watched it. It sounded absolutely awful. But then again, the commentary wasn't awful. The quality was, the mic and everything else was just rough.
Did you have software and everything at that time?
No, I literally told you. I had a microphone and overlay I found on the internet. I had nothing.
So you just changed cameras with the camera button, or?
Yeah, with the I didn't even have my Stream Deck. I literally used 1, 2, 3,
UI?
4, 5. No, not the UI.
Oh.
I used the hotkeys.
Oh, okay.
So,
the hotkeys. Okay, yeah.
It was bad. It was really bad. Right, Graham Brown is your winner. Simon Edwards in second. It's the first time we've had both Browns on the podium. Seth in third. No relation, by the way. Paul LeMay in fourth. Then Robert Woodward, Luke Crowley, Graham Matthews, Phil Glover, George Gonzaga, who disconnected, Damien G, and Michael LeMay. I bet you that is George in that chat. Here to see what went on. I had to get out of the sim quick as I was hot, says Robert Woodward, so he's obviously roasting there as well. I want to bring in this man who's taken a victory here in the SR10s, Mr. Graham Brown. Graham, welcome in. Green to checkered, unattacked. You made it look easy, dear sir.
If only it was.
Mate.
No, so I saw sort of like George. He kind of he was rooming like a 10th or so a lap, especially down the back section. He was a little bit quicker there. So then I started looking at the delta a little bit too much and the relative. So I started making a few mistakes, and I just got my head down, sorted out the balance, and then had a bit of a moment, like 3 laps from the end, something like that. But luckily, I think someone else must have had a moment as well. But yeah, it was great pace behind as well. I was literally doing everything I could to stay out there.
Yeah, well,
George had a big moment.
George.
Yeah, I'll have to look at the replay on that one.
George also had a moment where he just disappeared randomly as well. So there we go. I think his internet. I think his internet dropped out on him as well. But Graham, you get to enjoy your victory. But are you going to come back next week at Circuit de Barcelona and try and repeat the process?
I'll see what time I get. If I get what time, I'll definitely be there.
All right, mate. Well, wonderful. Well done on your victory. Anyone you want to shout out before we let you go?
I'll give George a shout out. He had the pace today, and if he had a random disconnect at the end, that's just real bad luck.
No, well done, Graham. Take care, buddy. Look forward to hopefully seeing you next week.
Cheers, gents. Take care.
All right, next up, we're going to have a chat with the man that took race number 1 with a battle with Paul LeMay that then eventually opened up and he took that victory comfortably. Race number 2, a little bit different. Had to work his way through, closing in gaps, passing people, and goes and takes second place. But let's have a chat with him now, Mr. Simon Edwards. Simon, welcome in.
Hello.
Hello, mate. You all right?
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of brands, but I made it work.
Hey, dude. A win and a second place, Simon. How can you not be a fan of brands?
Yeah, I quite like to hot lap it, but it's really not good to race on because it's you've got to make a risky pass and you've got to push people wide and stuff like that. Although I didn't need to do that, I just needed to whack Paul round in the first lap and then I was away.
Yeah, causing chaos at the back with Phil and Luke Crowley and everything.
Yeah, I mean, I did check up, but I just couldn't check up. I couldn't really hit the brakes hard because I was turning, but I couldn't quite check up enough. But then I thought, well, I'm not stopping here. I'm going.
Yeah, no, to be fair, mate, I think Crowley kicked it off in Phil, and then he come back across, tapped LeMay, and then LeMay was all in sorts, and it was all a little bit messy, to be blatantly honest. But for you, worked out well. Took you a bit of time to get through the field.
Yeah, everybody had good pace, so I only had a couple of tenths on people, really. Maybe a bit more consistency on my lap times, so I could creep up to them, and then they all sort of fell apart as I got towards them. So they were making opportunities when I was nearer than when I was further away. They just needed to not look in their mirrors, really.
Just couldn't handle the pressure, Simon. They saw that pink machine, that famous pink, purple blue machine.
Yeah. I even broke George's internet. It got so worried. Yeah.
Oh no! Poor old George. He just poofed off. Off he went on that one. Simon, great victory there, sir. Thank you so much for joining us. Anyone you want to shout out before we let you go?
Let's give a shout out to George. He might have been able to hold on to that second, and the gods have taken him away.
Poor old George. Take care, mate. See you next week at Catalonia.
Yep. See you there.
Bye. Right, next up on the list, we're going to have a chat with Mr. Paul LeMay. Second in race number 1, fourth in race number 2. But he did have his own episode of EastEnders going around one of the corners with everybody else. Paul, welcome into the booth there, sir.
Hello, mate. How you doing?
I'm all right, mate. Not bad at all. I'm good. Just sat and watched the race. Do you know, it was a bit anticlimactical for me. Because
yeah, I bet it was.
It was a little bit liney, wasn't it?
Yeah, I tried everything in the early laps with Simon in race 1, but as soon as he's just gapping me a sort of tenth at a time, and I was flat out halfway through the race. My hands were screwed, so I just tried to hang in there and just try to keep a consistent pace. But Simon's like a metronome, isn't he? He just keeps on going.
He does, mate. He does. But listen, the incident turn 1. Oh, it wasn't turn 1, lap 1, sorry.
Yeah, I think Luke was saying he had to check up. I then had to check up, and then Simon just went into the back of me. So it's a bit of a concertina effect. So I haven't looked at it, but it's one of those things. It's always really tricky coming down there anyway.
Oh, I noticed how Crowley's giving his evidence without watching the replay. He was responsible for that. He hit Glover. Phil coming round, right. and then he tapped you, and then unfortunately you went round.
All right. Yeah, one of those things.
As much
that's
as
racing, mate.
Yeah, it is, mate. Especially when you get your elbows out like that. You know what I mean? It always is, isn't it? It's a great little barnstorm. And listen, sir, we're going to one of my least favourite tracks next week, Catalonia.
Yep.
Um,
I quite like it, James. I'm hoping. I think it'd be a bit demanding on the old hand, but yeah, it's not a bad track, mate. You know, it's better than that bloody Okayama place. Jesus.
Yeah, but it's a Spanish circuit. They're just not known for overtaking, Paul. That's the problem.
Oh, wouldn't it? Oh, right. Well, I don't know, mate. We'll see how we go. But to drive, I quite enjoy it. But you know, we'll just have to see. I haven't driven there for ages, so I really don't know how difficult it is for overtaking. But could be interesting. Yeah.
All right, mate. Well, you have a good one. Listen, anyone you want to shout
All
out
right,
before we
guys.
let you go?
It's got to be Mr. Brown, isn't it? Graham did a good job. He had really good pace actually, and I know he jumped the start in race 1. So he's to get the win after that, that's pretty cool. So yeah, shout out to Graham and you guys.
Take care, Paul. Thank you very much for that, buddy.
All right, catch you later, guys.
All right, next up, I do want to have a chat with this man, not because he finished, because he finished third as well, which is a great achievement for Seth, which is absolutely amazing. His last podium was in round 7 in Phillips, where he finished third in race 1. Also, as well, the fact it's the first time that I can physically remember we've had both Browns on the podium in 1 and 3. But let's have a chat with him about his race, because at times Seth Brown was it was a little bit dramatic. Seth, welcome in, bud.
Hello, you're right.
I'm not bad, mate. How are you?
I'm rather sweaty. My fans died, so I need to go and put all these clothes in the wash immediately. Yeah, it was a bit sweaty. I've got to be honest. And I'm here. I'm surrogate George, really, because third place was his, wasn't it? And who has scheduled power cuts in Hertfordshire? I mean,
that's what I thought. Do you know the thing is, I've called in the Portuguese man of war, and he lives in Hertfordshire. It's nowhere near Portugal, is it? You know what I mean?
No.
I tell you that though, Seth. I probably should have thought about that the moment I met him at Paul Clark's place.
Well, he's nearer Portugal than I am. But the race was great. It was good fun. And actually, I don't know why I'm being so red, George, because I kind of think he turned into me in the first race. He was heading for the apex. He was heading for that apex, and he should have stayed wide. And so I'm not having that.
Can I just declare I'm not getting involved, Seth? I know I'm normally very vocal, but I haven't watched it enough to come out with a decision. So for the first time ever, I'm probably going to have to sit on the fence.
All right.
I'm sorry, Seth. I haven't seen it. It was risky anyway, going through Dingledale too wide. Up through Sheen, sorry.
Yes. Yeah, it was. But, why not?
Well, yeah, why not? Go for it, Seth.
There you go.
Absolutely have a ding-dong, mate. Well, listen, dude, you did absolutely amazing. Back at Catalonia next week. Not my favourite circuit. How do you think it's going to go?
Oh God, that's a good question. I have no idea. I don't think I'm very good at Catalonia, but I don't ever race it.
No.
So is it with the chicane on the last corner or not?
Well, it says the Grand Prix layout, so give me 2 seconds. Let me have a quick look and see if I can decipher on which layout. I'm hoping it. Oh, I really hope it's not with that janky chicane at the end.
It's sausage curves as well, isn't it?
Oh, it is.
I love sausage. I don't like sausage curves.
No, you were going to say so, and I was really going to drop you in it. But yes, you do have that horrible chicane at the end.
Yeah, okay. All right, well, great. Let's look forward to that then.
All right, mate. Take care. Anyone you want to shout out before we let you
go? George, really. He should have had that second, maybe. So, yeah, tough luck, George. Sorry.
Oh, scheduled power cut in Hertfordshire, apparently. But there we go. All right, Seth. Yeah. Take care, buddy.
Cheers.
Have a good one, mate.
Cheers. Bye.
Bye. Now we are going to have a chat with Mr. Crowley. Goes into race 1, he takes 3rd place. He goes into race 2, and he takes out 3 drivers. But hey, he's at least he's got a full house. Let's have a chat with him. Luke, welcome in.
Hello. Yes.
Mate,
that was terrible.
You literally torpedoed yourself, Phil Glover, and Paul LeMay all at the same time.
No, it's the only reason I'm here. I really wanted to apologise. Like I've just been talking to him in the waiting room, and yeah, it was all my fault. I was I was focused too much on Paul next to me and Simon behind me that I didn't realize where I was. And then when I realized where I was, it was too late, and I was in between Damien and Phil, and took Phil round, and I think I probably give Damien some damage. So yeah, overall not the best.
Yeah, it was interesting, wasn't it, mate? You know, if you're going to kick off a season in a new league, you might as well go take out 3 people.
Yeah, I mean, I'd rather it was the last lap than the first, but yeah, fair enough. You know, got to have some ups and downs, haven't you?
Oh, mate, this whole circuit's ups and downs, isn't it? Let's be real about it.
Oh, I know.
We're just watching it back now, actually, just to obviously, refresh everybody's memory. On that one, and then there's the tap on Phil, and then Simon hits Paul. Paul taps you, and he goes round again. So there you go.
Yeah, no, dominoes, mate. It's all a big game of dominoes.
You got a full strike there, buddy. But listen, dude, going forward, Catalonia next week. I hate the circuit. I don't know about you.
I'm all right with it. I tend to like the GP tracks that aren't Brands Hatch. So yeah, I think it'd be fine. Proper track. So yeah.
Get that in there, mate. A little dig, which ain't Brands Hatch.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Well, yeah, exactly.
Well done, fella, anyway, on your battles. 3rd place can't be bad for race number 1. Let's see how you get on, whether or not you're going to get better than 6th next week. Anyone you want to shout out, bud, before I let you go?
Yeah, Phil, Paul, and Damien for killing him. So apologies for that.
All right,
but and also Jim, I've got to restore your faith in me after that. After I called you out as well. So yeah, I'll have to.
So I said that you were attempting to part the Red Sea there, and you were going to try to create a hole between those 2 cars. So
I made a hole in Phil instead. I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, you parted Phil and Paul. Never mind, mate. Have a good one, Luke.
All right, cheers, guys.
Okay. Oh, dearie me. Now we're going to have a chat with Mr. Phil Glover, who went and took a 4th in race number 1 and then 8th in race number 2. But as you've just seen, he did get absolutely smacked going on that one. Let's have a chat with him. Phil, welcome in.
Now then, yes, it wasn't my best day, was it? Well, the first race was good.
It was.
Yeah. Luke's apologised to me. I think it was Luke that probably tapped me somewhere on the line and put me pretty much to the back. And then he was pressurising me, and I ended up making a mistake, I think, onto the grass and ended up into the wall. So, and then it was pretty lonely from there on.
Yeah, but still. Racing's racing, Phil. We're going to Catalonia next week, mate. I wasn't going to ask because I knew
you've stole my thunder now, haven't you? I was going to say, well, I thought it was Barcelona.
Well, it's the same thing. Circuit de Barcelona, Catalonia, whatever you want to call it.
Okay. Yeah, okay.
Is that all right?
Yes. Yeah, that's all right. Yeah, get me Spanish practiced. Yeah, bit of sangria before we take to the grid.
Yeah, that'll go down well in VR and motion sim. I'd love to see the colour of what comes out after spinning the car on that one, Phil.
Yeah, well, I'll have to avoid spinning though, won't I?
So, Phil, I have a request. So I forgot that you raced in VR and a motion rig. So my request is that I would like for you to set up a streaming camera and like across the room where we can see the whole rig and you. And I want to see you do a race streaming with that camera. I want to see you driving the motion rig with the VR for a race. I want to get a picture of that.
You'll be streaming, but it'll be your eyes as you're watching that.
I'd love to see that, Phil. We'll have a chat about it a little bit off stream there.
Yeah,
as well.
you have to let me know how to do it.
Yeah. All right, bud. Well, listen, did you take care? Anyone you want to shout out before we let you go?
Usual crowd, great bunch of people. So, and Simon, as always, again, helping me out behind the scenes.
All right, bud. Well, take care, Phil. Have a good one, bud. We'll see you next week.
Yep. See you both. Cheers. Bye.
Well, there you go, guys. That's going to wrap it up here as well. Jim, final words from you?
I mean, I thought it was a good race. It was really fun to see somebody else get up there and claim a victory. So that was cool. And, looking forward to Barcelona next week just to see what it's going to be all about. It's on the schedule. Nothing we can do about that. So we're going to go there and we're going to enjoy it.
Okay, guys. Well, thanks so much for joining us. Martin, we look forward to seeing you on track. Phil, as always, take care. Have a good one. And as per normal, take care. Have a great week. And you never know. I might see you on track sometime. Good night.